You're live.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Poikinen. I am here in Boulder Creek, California, where it just got ridiculously freaking windy and my narrow ass is cold. Glory has been like her internet crashed out about 45 minutes ago, and she's gonna try and pop in. And when she does, she promises that she'll be coming in hot. So can't wait, but I hope she gets that figured out soon, because joining us today, look, man, when I first started this show, a dude that I had reached out to really early on trying to get him on, and a bunch of stuff happened between then and now is now, and I'm very pleased to welcome to the show Teodrose. Fikremariam, I am stoked to have you here, man. How are you?
Thank you for having me. It's been an interesting set of couple of days, and things are developing really fast, and so it's kind of ironic that you call it a slow news day. Ain't no such thing as a slow news day.
I was
to be on, and things happen as they're supposed to. So I'm looking forward to this conversation.
I was hoping it would become obvious that was one of the things about the name of the show, though, is because so much of the.
Give me a second.
Sure.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is it still good, or
we're good? We're okay. Good. So much of corporate media, and even now, so much of independent media is news for slow people. Or news delivered in just the most infantilizing, condescending way, and we try to walk as far away from that as humanly possible over here. Before we really get going, will you please give the wonderful people who are watching just a little bit of background on who you are and what you do, and I guess the current status of the Guillaume Journal right now?
Sure. So I'm the former editor, although that's in flux. I was initially the former editor, but I kind of stepped back into that role recently. When you wear many hats, you end up becoming the editor, the writer, the producer, the director, everything else. So I've kind of decided to wear that hat again out of necessity. But the Guillaume Journal is something that my wife and I started 4 years ago, and it was to pay homage to Ethiopian history and culture. So what happened is, a long time ago, in the Bible, the Gihon River is the second river that's mentioned. There's the Pishon, the Gihon, the Tigris, and Euphrates. About 400 years ago, I think it was, some European dude came in and renamed the Gihon into the Nile River, right? So in the process, they pretty much tried to deny our history. So it was an attempt to wash away the truth of who we are as a people, and to kind of take an axe to the root of our culture. So us, claiming or saying that we are the Guillaume Journal, it's a way to pay homage to our ancestors and to our history, and in the process to seek truth through the muck of lies that's really burying the whole world. And so that's what we are. That's what we try to do. We don't own the truth. We just try to seek it as much as possible.
Obviously it's your outlet, but that's a fucking fantastic summation of the Guillaume Journal. That's great. I enjoy and have enjoyed over the last few years pretty much everything that I've read out of there, man. Like you got a way of looking at things that is incredibly unique. And what got me, what pulled me in, is that the genuine individual that you are is incredibly manifest in your work. And sincerity and journalism are not necessarily things that you find, certainly not often. So when I see that, I make sure to make a note of it and follow it. And you write about everything. I just read your takedown of Jay-Z, by the way, yesterday, and I loved it. I loved it because I can't stand Jay-Z, and I never could stand Jay-Z, and I never will be able to just get down with it. And thank you, by the way, for putting that out. And if you don't mind, before we get into all of the things that have accelerated and happened in the last week for you, can we kick Jay-Z around for a moment?
Sure, I would love to kick him around. So, Jay-Z and his wife Beyonce, how can I explain this without devolving into their level of myopicness? They sold their soul a long time ago to, when you see them put up that pyramid sign, they reference the Rock, which is the Rockefeller, and alluding to the Illuminati. All these, and if you see Beyonce do all these weird gyrations and treating herself like a Roman goddess, Jay-Z referring to himself as Hove and Jehovah, and even the album that he came up with, I think it was 422. That is an homage to, not even an homage, alluding to, I think it was when Jesus said, "I am the one," or something like that. I forgot what the John 4:22 was, but it's basically saying, "I'm the one you've been waiting for." It's the height of blasphemy, and for this sellout I call him, in fact, that article I said that he was Judas, and he's Judas in that he's been selling his people out for the longest of times for a few shekels. Yeah, at the end of the day, the amount of money that he has is nothing compared to the amount of money that the people that own him have. But in this world, you sell your soul to the devil, you end up getting the spotlight. But there's a cost for that. Nothing in this world is free. So the cost for him, some of that is evident in terms of how he, compare him to Tupac or compare him to Biggie. He would never have that stature. He will always be known as the shuck and jive artist that he is, because he earned his fame and his riches by selling the whole culture down the river. So that's why I called Jay-Z the Judas of African Americans. He's done more to harm hip hop and to harm the black culture than anyone I could think of in the past 100 years. So he's earned his notoriety.
The audience is telling me that I'm feeding back from your phone quite a bit. So if you turn the volume down on your phone, just cut like a notch or two, that'll probably, and I'm going to scoot a little bit back from the mic, and hopefully we can sort all that out.
I'm going to try to see if I could get back onto the, hold on a second. Give me a second.
Sure. We do it live.
Yeah.
We do. I fucking love it.
Let's try something else. Hold on. Select sound device.
While you're figuring that,
how about now? How about this? Is it better?
I don't know. Let's find out. I don't hear an echo anymore.
I'm not hearing an echo. I think it's good.
All right. I want to give a big shout out right now to Garland Nixon and Dr. Wilmer Leon, because you are a frequent flyer on their program.
Oh yeah.
And so am I. And I have like just a tremendous amount of love and respect for Garland. And so when I was getting ready to have this conversation with you, I do what I always do, which is try and find the most recent stuff that you've done, so I don't have to ask you repeat questions, so you don't have to do the same interview. And I kept finding myself like not listening to take notes, but just jumping into the conversation and being absorbed by that. And it happens with Garland with me regularly. Like I just he gets going and he gets excited and he starts doing that circular breathing thing,
right?
where it sounds like he's playing Didge or something, where it's just a quick intake of breath and you're like, oh, we're going for a ride now, aren't we?
Yeah, hang tight.
Enjoy it, dude. I love it. Tell me about your week, Teo. Tell me about your week.
What this week? First off, I've been kind of predicting things, and they've been happening. Don't know if that makes any sense. So certain things I've been predicting, and they've happened to a T, and other things I've been predicting, and they have not been happening to a T, right? So, for example, on Monday, I was like, it was going to be an earthquake in Japan. Boom, an earthquake in Japan. Then I was kind of livid with Twitter and Instagram and Google and what's the other one? Facebook. So I kind of said the same thing. And strikingly, it happened, right? But then on the flip side, I was like, well, there's going to be a financial crash. And nothing happened to that extent. So it's been one of those weird weeks in that people that try to prove that they're somebody that they're not usually end up with an egg on their face. So it's been kind of like that for me. I don't hide my spirituality. I don't hide the fact that I'm a person of faith, but it's not good to brag or to pretend like as if you're the focal point of what goes on in this world, because I'm not. Every time I let my ego get in the way, I have a tendency of kind of having an egg on my face. All that said, though, it has been a very weird week. And I think it's culminating into really something that's going to end up being a dark moment in our history. I believe this whole COVID-19 thing is the biggest fraud perpetuated upon humanity. Not that COVID-19 itself is a fraud, because my mom passed away from complications from COVID-19, but how this vaccine is being rolled out, how we're being manipulated to fear, to not question. Man, these things, like, it's mind-numbing, and I see where this is headed. This is headed straight for the repeat of the Trail of Tears, for example, where the American government used, smallpox laced blankets to poison Native Americans, and then eventually shepherd them to reservations. The same thing that happened with with the Tuskegee Institute, the experiments that the government was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing that happened with when the CIA started using LSD against Americans and Canadians. Human beings have this tendency to have a blind spot against the government that they live in. So we dare not ask, well, could they be doing something to us, right? Except every generation, the next generation looks back and says, how did we allow that to happen? And we realize it's because we don't question in the moment. We're just like a bunch of sheep being led to slaughterhouses. We kind of just bleed along, and we don't question authority. Famously, this happened in Germany in the 1930s, where one madman was effectively led his country down into the Hell's River because nobody really wanted to question him. Of course, that was Hitler. But This happens continuously. During FDR, you had a whole country that sat on its hands as the Japanese Americans were being interned. Nobody said anything. Fast forward 70 years after that, we have George Bush rushing us into a war against Iraq, a country that never attacked us. 500,000 Iraqis perished. Thousands of American soldiers perished. And nobody wants to say anything. And these things happen continuously, generation after generation, where there's a crisis is used to justify some ridiculously onerous action by the government. And then we end up losing everything, losing our rights, losing our freedoms. And I think it's going to get to a point where it's going to be a lot more than just those two things that we're going to lose. We're going to end up potentially losing our lives and our livelihood in the process. If we don't question and say, hey, why are we taking this drug again, this vaccine that there's no scientific, there's no science really behind it. So I'm out here ringing the alarm saying, hey, before you take this vaccine, they tell you the vaccine, it could very well be a snake oil. Question the data, question the government, and then make an informed decision. It's a hard road to walk when you do that, because a lot of times when you question conventional wisdom, you end up getting the rails for it. But I think that this time calls for us to kind of put aside fear and insist that we get answers before people end up getting killed and maimed in the name of science.
So I got to tell you, I did not see the conversation going this way, and I'm so glad it did. We were supposed to, and didn't get a chance to this morning, get into Whitney Webb, good friend of mine, friend of the show, get into her newest article, which explores the eugenicist connections between Oxford AstraZeneca, one of the makers of this vaccine for Operation Warp Speed, and and flat the fuck out, just in excruciating detail.
Right.
It shows just who the people at Oxford AstraZeneca are and what organizations they're part of and what those organizations believe in. Bill Gates is an open eugenicist. Klaus Schwab, open eugenicist. Mark Benioff, open eugenicist. And these are the people behind the COVID "we're going to fix you" rollout and the rollout of the Great Reset. And the fact that we've had so many different politicians in the last couple of years use that Great Reset, Build Back Better slogan as their campaign slogan should be alarming to everyone. This is something you can put it on the cover of Time magazine, but just us talking about it right now on YouTube, it may get the video removed, will absolutely have the video demonetized. They're going to roll back the view counts, and they'll probably unsubscribe some people. And I don't give a fuck other than people will be able to see it, but that's why we're live on Rockfin right now. That's why we tell everybody, if you haven't got your free Rockfin account yet, you damn well better, because that's where I'm going to be when they yank my channel. That's where Jason Burmis is and will be. Last American Vagabond, Unlimited Hangout, Whitney Webb's podcast. Like, they're our good friends at the Combo Couch and Nico. Like, they're all over there on Rockfin for a reason. It's because you can't have an adult conversation about some of the most paradigm shifting events at this moment in human history on YouTube without them working each other.
Yeah, And if anyone thinks that this is a figment of our imagination, all you have to do is just really look at, like, for example, on Twitter, right? It's crazy. I was at 8,500 about 2 weeks ago. This is how social media works, right? It's a slow climb up until you hit critical mass, roughly around 10,000, and then you just skyrocket. You go from to go from 1 to 100 is infinitely harder than it is to go from 100 to 1,000, and then to go from 1,000 to 10,000 is relatively easy. From 10,000 to 100,000 is not that hard at all. It's critical. What you're looking for is gathering critical mass, or when you hit a point of exponential growth. This has been happening the opposite. This is people that are tuning in because they appreciate what you're about are not all of a sudden going to just start unfollowing you, because you're uncovering a core audience. But yet that's what's happening on my Twitter account. That's been happening on YouTube. They're demonetizing, and I don't even monetize my videos. They're just effectively just suppressing how many people are being reached, and also just kicking out followers. Why? Why would they do this? Because they're deathly afraid of people that speak against the conventional wisdom or accepted wisdom. And why? Well, the same reason why Barack Obama in 2016, when he lost. This is after he lost. In December of 2016, a month before Trump was about to be sworn into office, he signed the National Defense Authorization Act that expanded the powers of the presidency. Why would he do that if he didn't trust Trump, right? Because he knew what was coming. They've been preparing for this for a very long time. On the back of your dollar, it says Novus Ordo Secloris, something like that. New World Order. They've been planning for this day for a very long time. Like, I used to be in a Greek organization called Omega Psi Phi. I walked away from that the minute that I found out what they were about. Right? I mean, the vast majority of these brothers who are in these secret organizations, they're cool people. They're not in on the hoodwink. They have no idea what's going on. But there's a sliver within that secret society that are truly nefarious. And all you had to do is go to the Georgia Guidestones, for example, and there's a mission statement with a couple of bullet points. The most alarming one, the second to the last, second to the top bullet point says, guide reproduction wisely, eugenics. And then the top one says, maintain humanity at 500 million in perpetual balance with nature.
Yep.
This is, if this doesn't scare the shit out of you, I don't know what else will. And this is a Masonic statue in Georgia. They just advertise it blatantly, And so for me, when I walked away from these secret societies, it's because I've realized what this is about. Secrecy. It's the closest cloth of secrecy that enabled our government to assassinate Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Robert Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, Lincoln. The list goes on and on. The amount of people, Fred Hampton, by the way, in the 1960s was working across the aisle with the group. I think they were called the Proud Boys even back then. They were a white supremacist group.
Yeah.
And his whole objective was to work across the divides with people that were different than him, because he realized at that moment that the true sources of injustice were these divides, that America's caste system. So he figured if he was able to work with white supremacists, then that's a powerful clarion call to put aside our differences and work for a common cause. Fred Hampton was shortly thereafter assassinated by the police.
100.
They don't even pretend like to do a conspiracy theory about Martin Luther King and JFK or Malcolm with him. They just told you we're going to shoot him. Google the word COINTELPRO.
Oh yeah, no, and
Um,
we even know. Yeah, there's okay. So check it out. This is good. You're tuned into the frequency of what we do here right now, because a month ago was the anniversary of JFK's assassination. So we did a show of Jason Burmis, Jared Beck, and Pasta from the Convo Couch.
okay.
And then shortly after, a couple of weeks ago, my personal spiritual advisor, Reverend Annie Chambers, who's I don't know if you're familiar with her or not, but she's a wonderful human. She lives right near you in Baltimore. She's a legendary Baltimore activist, Black Panther. Her brother James, her oldest brother, was Malcolm X's lieutenant.
Wow. Okay.
So she grew up like with Minister Malcolm. And when she was with the Panthers, they organized with the Klan to make sure that everyone in this particular community got to eat that month. And she marched next to a Klansman and with the Panthers in order to achieve this. And they did. And you're absolutely right. That is the most dangerous thing that the people that are even in positions of perceived power want to see is unification based on communal understanding.
Right.
Picking one thing that you can work on together. That's exactly what we're doing with the Julian Assange events that we're having in DC. And it's what we're doing with a secondary project called the First Freedoms Society, which just basically says this is a post-partisan thing. You know, I personally don't think that we can have a real conversation about politics in general or policy or party or what any of that means unless we have unspun primary source material for us to form our opinions off of.
Right.
And so it's ultimately what we are trying to do. And since we've done the JFK thing and we've done the Malcolm X assassination and the plots behind that, I want to do like once a month hey, here's who your government murdered and why show.
Well, that's a long ass list though.
It is. I got time, I think, I hope, but yeah, Fred Hampton is something I would love to just do like a 2+ hour deep dive into, because his story is a vital part of American history that people are not taught, and they need to understand in order to have even a clue as to what their government is, what their government will do if you step out of line, and how the machine works.
Yeah. I think that the difference now compared to back then is a level of visibility, right? People like us, well, first off, we're not that visible compared to Fred Hampton. I really believe that if we speak up a little too loudly or seen a little too much, we probably will get the same treatment. We're no different. But because there's so many different voices out there, that level of anonymity kind of gives us a level of protection, because we're kind of just thrown in with the rest of them. There's a bunch of loudmouths spinning all kinds of lies, and so the truth gets end up being aborted. That's a good name, by the way, Sleepy Josh. Abort you. They end up aborting the truth in a sea of lies. It's very hard to decipher who's telling the lie apart from who's telling the truth. And the biggest lie, of course, is mainstream media. But they have the power of the purse behind them. And then you have 1,000 other liars who have the power of deception. And then you have people like us that say, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. So it's very hard to be noticed and to garner a following when you're speaking truth against these things. But I think if we also reach a little, like, for example, Bill Cosby, he didn't play the game. You see what happened to him. When I tell you, Bill Cosby would not have sat quietly. He would have spoken up about these things. You know, in that moment, like he would have spoke up against Barack Obama. He would have spoke up against the way that hip hop has been weaponized against the African American community. He would have spoken up against the duplicity of the Democrats. So, you know, he got his unjust desert. I'm not saying that he was some angel that was persecuted, but the whole way that this whole thing rolled out, 40 years after the fact, and some of the key witnesses recanting their testimony, there's just it was fishy to say the very least, especially given the fact of what Trump has done, for example, what Bill Clinton has done, for example, what Obama most likely has done. And you think Obama is spotless? He's protected. You know what I'm saying? He's protected. What the Pope has done, what MBS has done, the guy from Saudi Arabia, the Sultan.
Yeah.
They belong in these weird secret societies where they partake in activities so that they could be blackmailed in case they want to ever come out against the orders that they've been given.
Yeah.
So you know, given the all this deception around the world, like people like us maybe don't have to worry about too much, but if we get to that level of visibility, that maybe that we might have to reconsider our options as well. But what I believe is this: you can't, when somebody is this visible, it's very hard to kind of just murder them or silence them. So they have to kind of hope that we suffer a nervous breakdown or depression, or and that we kind of go away at our own hands. And so here's to praying that for me and for everyone else that's listening, durability more than anything else, and to stay committed to the struggle, knowing that these things are not over in one day. They might take a lifetime, but we're in this for a lifetime, not for one day that will end up becoming the reverse maybe a month later.
Well, and if it's something that if it's something that you perceive to be a calling, right? For lack of any better word, or maybe that's the only word. I'm not even sure. Then you're less concerned about the outcome for you, right? And that makes it a little bit different because you don't act the way that they want you to act when they do the pushing. The censorship, the unsubscribing, the whatever, all of the stuff that's supposed to frustrate you and make you throw your hands up. When that makes you push back harder, then you make your opponent react, right? Then you're not playing your game anymore. And that's what I do enjoy about I don't know, I guess just being subversive in general, or what would be viewed as subversive from an authoritarian standpoint, is the ability to know that I'll be able to make them guess and not have it the other way around. And I think that we can collectively do that in all sorts of different manners that can really throw a wrench in the resources of empire.
Yeah. It takes, I frequently say that it takes billions of dollars to maintain a lie. But in order to expose it, all you have to do is whisper one truth. It doesn't take that much. It's like somebody that's going at the Berlin Wall with a hammer. You just keep hacking away, and eventually the wall falls. The wall falls down. But it's a lonely life, and it's a lonely, sleepless life. You see me like I've barely been sleeping this like the past 2 weeks, yo. Like I find myself drinking coffee a lot,
Can I
and
tell
I
you
eat
something?
like
I don't know anyone who's been sleeping well for like
yeah,
the last month or so. I don't.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like
yeah.
everyone in my immediate sphere, I get people that have, asking like, because we do kind of check in with each other, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, hey, have you been sleeping? Okay.
No.
No.
Let
No.
me tell you. Look, you see this? This is what keeps me up. This bagel and this coffee and bagels. It's like I've become Jewish. I've become an Ethiopian Jew. Like I'm eating bagels and drinking coffee like there's no tomorrow.
All right.
Just to stay up. Yeah, shalom. Nah, but hey, that's not anti-Semitic. I'm part Semite and I'm Ethiopian, so therefore, ergo, I can say these things.
I'm not here to cast aspersions one way or the other, my friend. That's not my job.
Speaking of which, though, let's talk about Zionism for a second.
Okay.
Zionism is not Semitic.
No.
Zionism is anti-Semitic, right? This is the height of racism and bigotry and supremacy. Anyone that says I'm a chosen person, we're God's chosen people. First off, we're all chosen people. Well, like if you have a child, if you have children, you don't say that's my chosen child. And that child who believes that he's better and more chosen than other children are assholes. So that's one. And when it comes to Zionism specifically, I hate to say it this way, but the truth is the truth. Zionists come from this branch of Judaism, quote unquote, that came from Ashkenazi Jews, right? Ashkenazi Jews were converted in the 1700s. They used to be like mostly gypsies, Eastern European, kind of, I guess you could call them pagans, and then they converted in the 1700s. Their leading proponent is someone named Theodore Herzl, and he was propped up by the British, and he advocated for a homeland for the Jews in the, in the 1900s, in the 19th century.
Yeah.
So it's from his dream that Israel, the state of Israel, came about. The state of Israel, the political state of Israel, is a lie. It's not tyrannical. It's tyrannical. It's not tyrannical. It's not based in the Torah at all. And
that's fucking clever, by the way. That's clever.
Tyrannical, right? Seriously, and I've actually interviewed this group called Neturei Cartel. They stand for Defenders of the City, and they're Jewish. And what they've told me, Rabbi Weiss, you'll never hear this voice on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News, is that it's a lie. Jews are waiting for the Messiah to come around before they accept a state, a country of their own. They're supposed to be scattered into the wind for a reason. They're waiting for the Messiah. So Zionism says, forget all that shit. We're going to just abort that whole notion and form our own country. And do so on the back of Palestinians who are Semites.
Yeah.
So the truest anti-Semites are, in fact, Zionists.
Well, everything that I've read points to, like, before Herzl, there was a segment of the Anglican Church that, in order to meet their end times rapture scenario, they had to have that state in Israel, and the capital had to be Jerusalem. And so it's out of that particular, English Anglican sect that the original philosophy behind Zionism was formed, and it was always supposed to be a political ideology. It was never. It was meant to weaponize religion, but it was never meant to itself be a religious movement.
Well, that's because they're godless, right? Zionism has nothing to do with believing in a God. It has everything to do with believing in this Luciferian, right? They believe in Lucifer. They're you know, in Revelations in the Bible, it says the time will come where those who say they're Jews and they worship in the synagogue of Satan will be exposed. Now you have to understand that back then the predominant religion was Judaism. There was not Catholicism, there was not Christianity really, and there was not Islam had not been established. So there was pretty much a unipolar religion, which was Judaism. And so when Revelation talks about those who worship in the synagogue of Satan, they're really talking about, this is John, I believe, the Baptist John in the last book of the Bible. We're talking about those who say that they're religious and they believe in God, and really they're worshiping in the house of Lucifer. The Revelations is all about that. And of course, you branch that out.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. So now you have Catholicism, Vatican. You have Wahhabism, which is another form of hateful religion in the name of Islam, which is the abortion of Islam, which is the abortion of Christianity. And then you have Zionism, which is the abortion of Judaism. And so you have a bunch of abortionists. I don't need to use a name like that in vain, Sleepy Josh.
You good?
It's very apropos. These things they keep aborting us by doing this, but it's wicked.
I agree. I do. It's there. So like every 50 years or so, people point to what is happening around them, saying these are the end times.
Right.
But if you go back to the original meaning of what an apocalypse is, it's not the end of all things.
Right.
You know, it's the end of one thing and the beginning of a brand new thing.
Right. In fact, end of days is end of heat. Dies means heat in Latin or in Germanic. So the end of heat, obviously, the world is heating up right now, and there's all types of tribulation going on. So when that heat gets to a point of its peak and then it ebbs, end of heat, end of days. It's not the end of times, it's the end of heat.
I did not know that. That's fascinating.
Yeah. It's, you know, these things are all parables. Like, for example, in the Bible it says the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden was not really a garden of trees and forests. It was just peace, serenity. Until Adam fucked it up for everyone, or Eve fucked it up for everyone, and listened to his wife, and took a bite of the apple of ego, and then next thing you know, tribulation comes, and they're kicked out of the desert, or out of the garden. Same thing with Cain and Abel. It's parable. You know, one thought that his brother was more blessed, and instead of looking at his own blessings, he looked at his brother's blessings, and he ends up caning him to death. You know, you could look at one of my favorite ones, Jonah. Can you imagine what Jonah must have felt like when he got swallowed up by tribulation, right? Which is what the whale was, tribulation for me, right? But let's just say it was actually like, it wasn't a parable. It actually happened that way. He got swallowed up by an actual whale. And then he had to tell his boys a week later, hey, Jonah, where have you been, bro? What do you think he's going to tell him? He can't tell him the truth. Right?
So there I was minding my own business.
And
When all of a sudden,
Can you imagine that story though? Like, are you fucking insane? Right? Who's gonna believe him? Nobody.
Right.
So he has to come up with a damn lie and say that he got, you know, he was on a sabbatical. And so yeah, these stories are endless in the Bible. So they're all parables. And we're supposed to read between the lines and figure out the truth apart from the lies, or the truth apart from veiled references. And so in the same way, those who say they believe in God or believe in faith or whatever use the same deception, and they wrap the truth in 1,000 layers of lies, and then they present it as truth, and then we can't even figure it out, and so we end up falling for the deception at all times.
Well, to me, that's why your spirituality and faith is supposed to be a personal experience, and
Right.
because only you need to understand your relationship with your preferred deity, right? Like that's a deeply personal thing. You can talk about it, you know, but the point to when it becomes marketing, you should read it back.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel about it. I also feel that in an increasingly secular society, the same energy that goes into a faith-based belief system has gone into political identity, and it's killing us.
Yeah, it's division.
It's right now, right in this moment, the progressive space gets these guys are the worst at it, you know. Right now they do the way that they have deified politicians and have turned talking points into dogma, and the way that they recoil at evidence to the contrary,
Right.
and go and, you know, hide in a reinforcement bubble of like-minded believers.
Right.
Like that is weaponized evangelicalism at its worst, manifest in a faith-based political ideology.
And most of these people, by the way, say they're atheists.
Isn't it hilarious, my friend? Isn't it hilarious?
Like some of the most religious people I've ever met. David Koresh was more secular than some of these atheists are.
Yeah, and shredded on guitar. Just shredded.
But you know, it goes to show you though, people, dogma. It's just really dogma. When you ideology is keep going back to this analogy. Ideology is an abortionist of ideas, right? It kills it right in the womb. Ideas are what sets apart humanity from the rest. Ideologies entraps us and meshes us in a web of deception, because it aborts our yearning to be free, to think for ourselves. And dogma is in the way to do this. And so religion is the same way. It's the complete opposite of faith. Faith is believing something without necessarily having incontrovertible evidence. You believe it. I have my faith kind of dictates X, Y, and Z, but I don't need evidence of that. You know what I'm saying? That this is not scientific as much as it is spiritual.
Right.
And so, yeah, and that's why I accept what you said, by the way, Steve, about these things. When it comes to faith, it should be internal. It is. For me, it's very internal. I rarely talk about my faith other than when I'm either A, sharing a testimony, like if I say I was homeless, and then I kind of share how I got out of it, I'm not pushing my religion on you. It's not even a religion.
Yeah.
And the other is if I use it as a source of unifying source to kind of say, look, I believe in God, but you know, my belief does not matter more than someone that believes in Allah, or someone that believes in Yahweh, or somebody that doesn't believe at all. It's a bridge between all these tenets of faith or lack thereof. So I could sit down with a Muslim and talk about all kinds of stuff. I could sit down with a Jew and talk about all kinds of stuff. As long as I'm not using it to divide, we're cool. The problem becomes when we use religion as a source of friction as opposed to a source of unification.
Oh, 100%. My tarot card reader is a devout Muslim, and we have some of the just most wonderful conversations. Again, man, I deeply respect and honor the fact that people have their faith. I do. I have my own. You know, I should be believing in something that's bigger than yourself, believing in something that you can't understand. That's something that you can't explain, that you know but you can't explain.
Yeah,
that should be a unifying human experience. It should be. It should be. It shouldn't be a point of contention. It shouldn't be a dick measuring contest.
right.
It shouldn't be a reason to harm another human being or destroy the planet. It should be if nothing else, the one thing that helps us figure out how to solve problems together.
Yeah.
When you consider how fluid faith can be and how it can manifest itself in different ways, kind of that larger connection to something that's bigger than yourself, then in that sense, it's a very unifying aspect of it all. And I don't think we should shy away from it at all. And hi, I'm Glory, by the way.
I'm glad your internet decided to work, Glory.
Yeah.
It was divine intervention.
Yep.
Let my people tweet.
Yep. Just so happens my name is Glory too. So
there you go. Hallelujah. Oh man, all y'all have biblical names. Josh, Joshua, Steve, bro, you had it bad in the Bible, yo.
I know.
Freshman got stoned to death.
fully aware. I interpreted that differently.
Yeah, that's why you're over there getting stoned right now, aren't you?
You know what, man? It's Sunday, and
yeah,
and
yes.
I have so few vices these days. I do.
Hey, I'm over here eating bagel live on the air, so it's all good, bro. We all have our vices.
We're not going for our professionalism.
I have more good habits than bad habits, and I sometimes get frustrated by that. But I'm incredibly happy about that. By the way, I am.
Hey, the good news, by the way, is that I don't know how many years it's been. Have you ever heard of the word Jubilee?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Jubilee coming. So what happens when the global marketplace crashes, right? And the idea of money disappears. What happens? Everyone gets.
I did. Like after we stop playing music for just nonstop in complete and total joyous celebration of this wonderful event, because we all figured out how to like grow our own food and you know maintain a community and develop fellowships within that community that sustain each other, because we're doing that right now, right? Everyone watching right now, we're all, that's on your to-do list for
It better be.
2021.
It better be. That day coming.
At least until they shut down all of the state borders and we have to show vaccine passports in order to leave. God, I hope I get out of here. So if I don't leave California before that, I'll flip the fuck out.
Make haste.
I'll be your coyote, Steve.
Hey, you going to Mexico? Here we come.
Right? No, I mean, I'm not above smuggling myself.
Yeah, well,
if they asked about you, we didn't see shit.
Right? I mean, I know a guy who successfully expatriated to Mexico and was granted citizenship because he was a target of the U.S. government.
Well, that happened with Andrew Davis in Cuba when she went to Cuba. I think it was Andrew Davis, right?
Ashada Shakur, right?
Ashada Shakur.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angela Davis went to University of California, Santa Cruz, and got paid a crap ton of money, and now does Joe Biden commercials.
Unbelievable.
It's what institutional security can do to a lot of Black intellectuals that, you thought were really in the struggle, but then it turns out when the going gets tough, you're going to see which side they're really on.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where if you stick your neck out too far, from what I've seen and from what I've gathered and read and from conversations I've had, it's you can take the bribe or you can take the bullet, and it's your choice. But one of those two things is going to happen.
That's what happened in the 1960s.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote an article once called "The Bloody 60s," and the sheer depravity of the 60s. MLK, Martin Luther King. I mean, MLK, Malcolm X, JFK, RFK, Fred Hampton. I want to say Huey Newton or Huey with Black Panther Party. There's so many people. The guy who was assassinated, he was the NAACP lawyer. I forgot his name.
Medgar?
Yeah, Edgar Mavis? No.
Yeah, I always mix his name up. Medgar Evers.
Medgar Evers, yeah, but it was one after the other, so the people learned pretty fast not to speak up a little too loudly, and it goes even like I said, Bill Cosby, Tupac potentially. So these people that spoke up against the illuminated ones got assassinated, and people like Jay-Z that just became dick riders and chose to kind of swallow everything, and they got rewarded handsomely. So that's how this Babylonian deception works. It pays off the ringleaders, the mannequins, and then it silences those that actually have the audacity to say anything that diverges from talking points.
Mm-hmm. And you literally have FBI files like saying, no, we can't let a Black Messiah come to be. We can't let the Black community have leaders. Here, I'm going to station these gentlemen in this community in this location, and if we see someone on the come up, we're going to kill them. We're going to neutralize them.
Mm-hmm. And now instead of just outright murdering people, they're paying barbers to tell their customers just how cool and swell and good the COVID vax is.
Oh, yeah. That's the really insidious shit. Roland Martin.
There?
Have you heard of Roland Martin before?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's straight up getting paid. He's an alpha man, getting paid, and he's just shepherding his whole community to take this unproven medicine vaccine. And I've been going at him as much as I could. He's not going to listen though, because he has his ears plugged with all that money. That plug is going to come with a certain side effect. You know, there's nothing in this world that doesn't have a repercussion. And so Bill Gates is going to find out. Warren Buffett is going to find out. Everything has a cost.
Oh wait, but Warren Buffett's one of the good billionaires. Like Elon Musk is one of the good billionaires.
Okay.
He has a cool car, Steve.
Gee, I am so frequently not surprised. I'm not even. I don't even know if I'm disappointed anymore. I don't know what, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is I've become ambivalent to the lack of scrutiny and coverage that Elon Musk gets, especially on the left. And same with Warren Buffett. And really, to an extent, like, so the right goes after George Soros all day long, and everything in the world is George Soros's fault. Have you looked at where his money goes and what he's funded? And, you know, like, you don't even have to go into that, the whole, like, he was a Jew catcher for the Nazis thing.
Right.
You don't have to. You don't. If you just look at the project that the guy funds, you should be like, oh, well, that's shady. You know, I would not let this gentleman babysit my child.
I would not let this gentleman's PAC give $650K to my environmental activism PAC. Talking about Sunrise, by the way.
Yeah.
Or the Black Lives Matter, which is the biggest fraud. Look, billionaires do not give money because they love you. They give you money because they want you to be a wedge issue. And so that's why he's turned black people into a wedge issue. And that's why Twitter has an emoji. You think Twitter really gives two shits about black people?
No. If they did, then we wouldn't be getting censored so much.
Right. Or you think they give two shits about police brutality?
No.
Or they give two shits about the issues that matter to us? No, they don't. They just use us as a way. They turn us into a wedge issue. They turn our pains into the bogeyman, so that they could point to the other side, to the quote unquote white side, and say they're coming after you. Who's listening to your pains? And so when we revert to stupid, idiotic terms like white privilege, that does nothing but inflame the passions on the other side, we turn ourselves into a talking point. We turn ourselves into a caricature. And, you know, this is how you slice and dice humanity. And so they do that to us. They do that to white people. And next thing you know, we become ghettoized, and we live in our own little ghettos in our minds of what we think we are, not realizing that we're all in this together. And then slowly the friction goes up, the infighting goes up, and then we end up fighting each other instead of actually uniting to get what we both want, which is an equality of opportunities, a modicum of self-respect, to be able to work for what we earn. Whether you're black or white, Republican, Democrat, I don't care what color you are or what ideology you are. These things are universal in terms of what human beings want. To be given a fair shot at life and to provide a better future for our kids than our parents did for us. To be able to work what we're worth, You know, you strip away everything else. People agree on these things, but we get so incited into fighting each other that we overlook what we have in common and instead focus on what we have that divides us, or that cleaves us apart from one another. That's how tribalism works, and they perfected that shit. They perfected it in Africa. Now they're unleashing it here in America.
No, it wasn't time. CNN defined the killing of George Floyd as a cultural moment, which was some of the dumbest shit I've seen in a cool minute. And I've seen a lot of dumb shit, because what's happening is not only are they dividing us, but they're commodifying Black Death to serve their agenda, which is in and of itself a heinous act. Like, I don't say this enough, but fuck Sean King. Like, fuck that dude. You know, Talcum X, Snow J. Pimpson head ass. Fuck him. He profits off of police brutality while taking no proactive measures to ensure that we can have some kind of post-partisan effort to actually dismantle the police state. Instead, every time a Black person becomes a victim of police brutality, these fucks profit off of it, and it's disgusting. And Steve's about to say something, but I was on a rant, so go on, Steve.
Same thing with DeRay, by the way.
Lacan. Shock Lacan. Hewlett P. Newton. There's a list of Sean King nicknames that like everyone should have in their pocket at all moments. Yeah. Sean King is a fucking cartoon. He is. And there's nothing special about that. Like, it's not like it's just Sean King. You know, we've got it, the entire independent media landscape, and everyone involved in politics, like that Sean King is and has been, they're all freakishly cartoonish individuals.
By the way, DeRay?
Pardon?
DeRay is one of them too. DeRay, he was actually Sean King's BFF for a while.
Oh yeah.
You know, Obama. Obama. Yeah, can I tell you an interesting story about him? So, in 2000, I sound like Dorothy from Golden Girls when I say this shit. Picture this, DC, 2008. So, I started a group at my fraternity called Omegas for Obama in 2007, and he wins Iowa, barely loses New Hampshire, and I was like, oh shit, I know what's up. They're about to dismiss his whole campaign. If he wins South Carolina, he's going to say, of course he wants South Carolina because he's black. He's they're going to try to blacken him. That's the Clintons, by the way. So, get on my laptop and bang out a 4-paragraph speech idea. Forward that to my fraternity brother. Fraternity brother loves the idea. He's like, oh damn, they need to see this. Forwards it to Valerie Jarrett and Obama's half sister. I think it was Pamela. Anyways, they love it too, and they forward that to the speech writing team, and they love it too. So the last line of that speech idea gets picked up and rolled into his speech in the South Carolina victory speech, where he says, from the cornfields of Iowa to the granites of New Hampshire, to the oceans of South Carolina, and to the desert lights of Nevada, right? And that's how he closes it off. I'm like, motherfucker, excuse my language. That's my shit. That was yours. I didn't. Yeah.
I didn't really. Saccharine, bro. Saccharine. Giving it to him, man. It is. But
I didn't say nothing though, right? Because I was working back then. I was working at Booz Allen Hamilton, so I didn't want to be known as a liberal. I
blacked that out when you were talking to Nico about that the other day, the Booz Allen Hamilton shit. Like So, what is it about Booz Allen Hamilton that like makes people who leave it want to tell the truth about things?
What happens when you drink a lot of booze?
Like me personally,
You start telling the truth, don't you?
we don't.
Am I allowed to answer this? Because I can, but I don't know if I'm allowed to.
I mean, everything from fighting the world to dancing in the gravel barefoot to playing really fantastic pool that turns into really shitty pool to, you know, it's the same with musical instruments. And then eventually I try to destroy myself and everything else around me.
Well, which is what
That's why I
happened
don't
to
do that
Snowden.
anymore.
Snowden said he had so much booze that he went to Russia to keep drinking. Nah, what happens is he starts telling the truth, like uncontrollably. Hey, I'm sorry, hiccup. You start hiccuping and shit. Hey, David, tell you that I love you, hiccup. Right? So, I drank a little bit too much booze back then, and I don't know. You end up leaving that level of success in life, and you start realizing how empty and hollow life could be when you just making money and you're working next to soldiers who are making a third of what you're making. You're working in a very air conditioned office, living the life, and it just seems all empty. So at a certain point, you try to find meaning in what seems meaningless. I think you just, you get red pilled by booze that way. So in fact, I was actually working as an associate at Booz Allen Hamilton, which is the same level that Snowden had, except he was working on shit that I didn't even know existed back then. Like he was working at the NSA, Q clearance, all kinds of stuff. I was just a project manager at the Pentagon. I really didn't. I had a secret level, and I had just enough insights to kind of know how things work, but that was about it, you know. But yeah, I mean, for me, I was afraid to be associated with Obama back then, but I spoke up a little bit too loudly in 2014, 2015 about trying to claim credit. My life came to a screeching halt. And that's when I became homeless.
Okay.
And I tell you, man, you speak up a little too loudly in America, you'll get it. You know what I'm saying? So I got it. Got a couple of knocks on the door. Actually, I talked to the Secret Service for like an hour. Must have been like 3-4 hours. Because I got a little too pissed off about what was happening to me. And I started making a little too much noise. But they talked to me for like 3-4 hours. Yo, the amount of interviews that I went through, I've never been interrogated to that level. And after a while, they believed me. You know? And I went from feeling, I don't know, heat, as I can say. I felt heat all around me for a long time. And all of a sudden, warmth. It was like the warmth of God. I don't even know how to explain it to you. But from that moment on, I decided at that moment, I was like, I'm going to speak the truth. Because I realized at that exact moment that I was playing with house money. You know? There's nothing as liberating as playing with house money.
Right.
So
I'm in the bonus round.
Yeah.
I've been in the bonus round for at least 14 and a half years. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing when you have nothing to lose. You know? I have something to lose. I mean, I could lose my life. I have a beautiful son who I care and love deeply. I have a wife that's the rock of my world. But I think we've entered into that time where there's things happen for a reason, and there's no accident anymore. And those people who could otherwise feel convicted to act and to talk and to speak up for justice, when they don't, they die spiritually. So I'd rather be alive spiritually, even if that comes at the cost of some threat that I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Just that extra that, you know, you have a little, I call it moral vest, just because that's how I heard Fidel Castro describe it. So I kind of adopted that into my own philosophy. But just like that extra conviction helped keep you going.
Yeah. There's a fire that is very liberating, because it sets you free from all kinds of bondages, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's next? As far as tomorrow, I think we're headed for a very turbulent day tomorrow. Stocks are going to be, I believe, they're going to start free falling, because Trump didn't sign the stimulus, and I think he's almost pretty much vetoed the Defense Authorization Act as well. So these two twin towers are going to start imploding, and we'll see where that takes us.
Oh, speaking of January 17th, Richard Gage from Architects and Engineers will be on this year's show. And you guys should make sure that you're here for that.
Is he related to 9/11?
Yeah. They just released a documentary called 7 about Building 7. Because last year they concluded a 4.5-year study with the University of Alaska Fairbanks. That was just what they were setting out to do, and what the documentary is that encapsulates the study in the 4+ years is they weren't necessarily setting out to prove what happened to Building 7. They were there to disprove what could. They were there to show you what couldn't work, what was impossible. And it just so happens that that's exactly what the NIST report said happened to Building 7. So it's fascinating documentary, and it's like 45 minutes long. I can't recommend it enough.
It goes by really fast.
It does. I need to watch it like 2 more times again before.
Man, watch it too.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can use that as a vehicle to then have a broader conversation about 9/11.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, did you know that 9/11 happened on Ethiopian New Year's?
I do now.
Yeah.
And 9/11 in Ethiopia, it means Enkutatash, means troubled waters. And if you look at, so Enku means gem, right? Or jewelry. And then Tata means trouble, right? So on the day that we're celebrating our troubled diamond, the troubles of this diamond was falling apart in America, you know?
All right.
Dang, okay.
Yep. And even like 9/11, like if you look at it, the two towers on 11, September being the 9th month, which is when the apex of delivery, like, you know, when you're delivering a baby. Yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff like that. It's just coded symbolisms.
I'm sorry, I just looked at our element chat for a second because Sleepy Josh will put stuff from the live chat in there because I'll miss it because I can't pay attention to what's going on here if I watch that. But then I
also sent the full list of nicknames for Sean King in there.
The full list of nicknames for Sean King is in there, and I kept Martin Luther keyboard, and I fucking
dude, so good.
James Earl Jones. I'll share it momentarily in case if anybody wants to take a screenshot.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
The top
Hamilton.
one, the top one's Talcum X for
Yeah,
those
the
who
top
can't
one's
see it.
Talcum X. I tried to zoom in to cut out what we were saying.
Dang, that's crazy, yo. You're going in on this, dude.
I still love how Jaleel White is still just Jaleel White.
It's so fucked.
I think racial identity buffering was one of my favorite ones.
We live in a fucking cartoon.
You have to laugh at these things, huh?
I have to, because otherwise I would be so mad at him 24/7. Like if people like Sean King weren't utter clowns, then the quality of my life would be a lot lower than it already is, just because of how mad I would be at people like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't
But you know
laugh, the whole show is just me screaming for like 2 hours and nobody wants that.
Yeah.
No.
You have to find a way to cope in life, don't you? But yo, hey, I have a question for y'all, by the way. So, before I get into too much trouble, because I'm a married man, alert here. Are we gonna do another segment, by the way? I'm enjoying this conversation.
Oh, you're welcome back anytime, man.
Yeah.
There's other stuff. So next time, I want to see whether or not I'm the next coming of what's the guy's name that used to Nostradamus, or if I'm just Nostradamus.
So I don't do predictions. My only prediction so far has been I believe it's going to become increasingly more absurd. And so far so good.
Yeah.
But collapse of the world financial market is something that like I feel you not gonna get you in trouble, not gonna keep you out too late, man. I'm not. I would love to have you back. Please let me know. And by the way, like let's try to get together when I'm in DC. Coming up here soon.
I got you on the bagel and the coffee, my brother. Shalom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're not exactly known for our professionalism on this show.
Yeah, I laugh at these things. If you're not, it's going to put you into the crazy house.
Yep.
Ain't that the truth?
Wow.
Pretty much.
That's the real shit. Well, if you got a split, will you please let people know where they can find your work, wherever that may be, like all across platforms, and anything that you want to particularly highlight that you have going on right now.
Sure. So again, my name is Teodrose Fikremariam. You can find me at www.GHION. That's Gion, and then Journal. So GHION and then Journal JOURNAL.com. You could look me up on Instagram and Twitter the same way, Gion Journal, at Gion Journal. Also, I'm on Twitter at Teodrose, TEODROSE FIKRE. And also look up my partner in all this. Her name is Bethlehem Bekele. You can just BETTY BAKE, Betty Beke. She's the co-founder of the Gion Journal.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah, she's my wife. She's the person that plucked me out of obscurity not too long ago. So I call her my she's my Michelle Obama without a Netflix deal.
Without actually being a war criminal.
Yeah.
she's my Michelle Obama without the Council of Foreign Relations. You know what I'm saying?
I met your wife like right before we went live, and she's a lovely woman, and I doubt that she would share candy with George W. Bush.
No, candy.
Yeah.
Come on. No, she wouldn't kiss the devil like that.
Here, have a butterscotch, Satan. Yeah.
Damn it! Now I'm over here trying to.
So cute though, Steve. Doesn't it just remind you of the good old days?
I'm over here trying to come up with a pun for Sean King. Now I can't even come up with one. I'm ruined. Come on, Sean King. Something to do with a ghost. I can't do it.
I mean, that list is pretty thorough.
Yeah. It's all
It really
encompassing.
comprehensive, even. Although, I mean, you know, I'm sure if I don't know if you know this or not, Taylor. I have the best looking chat in YouTube, like just hands down. And I'm sure if a couple of them got together and worked on it for a moment, we could have, you know, an expanded list. I'd be happy to send it to you.
I'm working on that. That's something to do with color, complexion, take on his name, Sean, Scene. I don't know. We'll figure it out next time.
You know what? I'll put some more thought because that does sound fun.
I am not going to participate, and I'm going to opt out. I'm just going to laugh.
Steve, you don't want to make fun of Sean King?
Dude, I made one up a while ago and I can't remember it. It's killing me. I'm gonna have to remember it again.
I may dive into it. I do kind of have a little bit of a skill at nicknames.
Yeah, that's why we need your skills in this endeavor, Steve.
Blanc.
We'll talk about it in Discord.
We'll figure it out.
We'll work it out in the Discord.
It's gonna come to me as soon as I get out of the phone. I'm gonna be like, damn.
Oh well, you better you tag us in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with that.
Yeah.
Let me Google something. Hey, by the way, I wanted to say, you can tell a lot about somebody based on their authenticity, right? And the lack of talking points. And so, for folks that are like listening to me and hearing whatever I've been saying, authenticity matters. You know what I'm saying? And also whether or not somebody has motivations or motives, hidden motives. None of us are doing this because we have money motives. So in between money motives and inauthenticity, you could separate the real from the frauds. It's very easy to get paid by the same system that you bang at, and it's very easy to pretend to be something that you're not. But people that speak with authenticity, without talking points, without practicing, they're speaking from the heart. And so, think about that, and consider those things when you consider, things that we talk about, whether or not you should take this COVID-19 vaccine that's being sold as a snake oil. Authenticity matters.
Well, yeah, that's awesome, man. I couldn't agree more. By the way, that's like real shit. That is. Wow. We talk about how there's no money in truth. And it's true, but if it would be so easy to do that show, the just griftable lane that most of independent media resides in. It would be so easy to do that show. That's why I know that those fucks are lazy, and that's why you never see them in the streets. And that's why you'll never see them argue for anything that isn't just surface level, quote unquote, dangerous. It would
be so easy.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that easy because you'd have to find a new tech guy.
Well,
And you don't want that because then he might abort you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. He's
You don't want
right.
that, bro. You don't want Josh to be an abortionist on you.
In Josh, we trust.
Yeah. Oh man, yo, it's been real. I really appreciate y'all, Steve and Josh and Glory. Glory?
It's just glory. Yeah.
Glory. All right, cool. I look forward to the next talk, and may that conversation be a little more revealing in due time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thanks
so much for being a part of the show, man. I really do appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all as well, man. Hopefully we can link back up next week and see what happens, man.
All right.
Cool, man.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
All right, y'all. Thank you again for giving me an hour and change to join with y'all again. You can check me out at Gion Journal. That's GHION journal.com. Cool. Thank you.
Take care, man. Take
All right,
care.
God bless.
That was rad. I want to do that again. So Mona, are you serious? Because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this is the show for that. It's like a deep, spiritual, in-depth, wide-ranging exploration of, I really. What do you think, Glory?
I don't know if she's still here.
Mona, where you at?
Here, I'll shoot her a message.
I have no idea why I'm even fucking entertaining this.
Oh, okay. She's in the chat.
I know she's serious. Apparently,
What's that?
she's serious. Apparently.
Huh.
All right, I got you.
Hey, don't blame me for this one.
Kamala, Pete, and Biden. Okay. Hold up. All right, we all knew this was coming. Oh wait. Hold up. You know what? I can't decide whether I would ice Kamala or Pete. Marry Biden because I know he ain't got much time left, so get that out of the way. And then, I'm trying to think of who I would get more satisfaction out of icing them. And then we'll go fuck Pete and ice Kamala. Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
Steve, you don't want to answer that?
Okay, so you fuck Camillary, marry Pete, kill Biden, because I've seen Pete cook, and he's an excellent cook, and I can learn how to ignore him in 7 languages.
Oh, it's terrible.
I'm not dealing with the CIA for fucking that long. At least with Biden, I only got to put.
No, you don't understand. The CIA Pete would have me murdered within days.
True.
Oh my
but
God.
I'll be like, I'll find a way to get the video of that out from the grave. And
what the fucking Steve Snut flick?
yeah.
You know what? We'll clip this out so when it happens,
And then I'll haunt Henry Kissinger until he dies.
And then I will throw the party every year. Win-win.
Come on, 2020, do it! I swear to
Really, 2020, you've got what? Where are we at now? Where are we at? We're at like what 3 days, 7 hours, and 15 minutes.
Yes, come on, 2020.
Come on, 2020.
I swear to fucking God, 2020.
Free
87
Kissinger from the
hours.
mortal coil.
I don't fucking care. You don't take away Kobe Bryant, the Black Panther, and the hand of God from us without dragging
took away your
down
own
the hell with you.
hand. You took away your own hand, Lord. Why not, Kissinger? Why not? Why not? That's all I'm asking. And look, as a consolation prize, we'll take Dick Cheney.
Yeah. I'm cool. I mean, like Kissinger would be like extra sweet, but I mean, you know, I'll be happy with a Dick Cheney.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like whoever buys Klaus Schwab suits.
Or Klaus Schwab himself.
I have no idea what you're saying.
I heard what he said. YouTube, I didn't say that. Don't worry about me, Kevin. I'm just an innocent, little 20-year-old, just minding my own business. Do it 2020.
Okay, so my fuck, marry, kill is Kissinger, Albright, and Clinton. So I don't care which Clinton it is. I'm fucking that Clinton. I don't care which one it is. And according to like all conceivable evidence, that would be inevitable anyway. So I may as well pick that. So
Oh my
just
God.
get that the fuck out of the way. Get it out of the way. I think you marry Albright.
Yeah.
I think you do. Because I don't know if Kissinger's going to die without help.
Yeah. The thing is I'd say the same exact thing. The first thing, when I saw those three options, I'm like, okay, Kissinger's getting iced.
What if he's already fucking dead? He's like a straight up like fucking lich.
Fucking.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, I'm gonna start looking into this theory. I bet you he's already a lich.
I don't spend too much. I don't spend time going down like the adrenochrome rabbit hole. But when I look at like fucking Kissinger, I'm like, yeah, there's something there.
Right? He's gotten bigger. Like the older he gets, the bigger he gets. And the further back his eyes go, and like the blacker the pupils get, and before too long, it's just gonna be fucking. That's what you're gonna see.
It's the multiple layers of skin suits.
That's possible. That is. I honestly, there's a fairly convincing argument for lizard people when you look at Henry Kissinger and Kamala Harris for that matter.
Well, okay. Hold up.
Mark Zuckerberg. I don't believe in lizard people. I'm fucking with you guys. I hope you. I guess I won't count anything out at this point. Fucking cartoon. I mean, I guess as long as we're fucking around, if anyone has any questions, go ahead and throw them.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So here we go. Wait a second. There. Now that you're telling me that there's nothing else just at play there. And I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to like just general. Like there's something fucked up going on there.
He appears to have been crossed with like some sort of tortoise to increase his longevity.
Yeah.
Dude, I think he ate the Reaper. The Reaper came to get him, and he's like, "Nah, dude, I'm taking over your shit."
like showed up as John McCain. And Kissinger was like, no.
You're just like,
I
no.
don't think so.
He ate him, and that's how he became a lich. And now he's raising his undead armies in the Atlantic Council.
Fucking human embodiment of the devil, I swear. Ugh.
I mean, he really he's like sort of shrunk into this bent over, ever expanding mass of evil. I mean, it's why Whitney called him a gigantic blob of satanic jello.
It's about right.
It fits. Yeah, that's just that's good stuff right there.
Do it, 2020.
The chat's having fun with this particular conversation.
Yeah, I know. It's like, listen, I don't have hope for a lot of stuff, but like, listen, I take the small dubs where I can get them. And, you know, fucking one of these sinister neocons finally biting it would be a fucking great ass dub to take.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole list of like, okay, I guess I'll settle for.
Yeah.
But
just take one, please. Like,
just take one. Yeah, no more of this. Like, oh, here's this beloved, folk hero, fucking icon, role model. None of that stuff. For like, but you got 77 hours and 8 minutes, and you can start with Henry Kissinger. Come on, 2020, don't be a fucking.
Come on.
Hey, how about Sean Denver?
You scared, 2020? You little fucking scared cat. Huh?
Fucking punk ass year, 2020.
Ooh, I'm the coronavirus. I'm a pandemic. Can't even fucking. Henry Kissinger's fucking 3 days younger than baseball. You can't.
You really too scared to go after Kissinger, 2020?
Pussy. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you're afraid.
Bitch ass 2020 can't do shit.
Prove me wrong, 2020.
Soft ass punk ass year, 2020. What you gonna do about it? You have a whole. You know what? If Kissinger actually does bite it, then fucking I'm gonna take partial credit for manifesting that shit.
It's gonna be a weird conversation with the Secret Service, though. It is. Like, no, obviously, I don't think that something as inanimate as the year we're in has the ability to remove Henry Kissinger from our lives. No.
Chill, Kevin.
No.
Chill.
No. See, that's what makes it funny, is because something as abstract as 2020 can't kill Henry Kissinger. So that's what I, just in case. Man, I think maybe we've gotten, like, I think at this point our Kevin's probably had to be replaced like 3 or 4 times. We're probably on Kevin number 4 or Kevin number 5.
Yeah, we're at like
radicalizing each Kevin, and they've been developing a sense of humor, and they're going to they're watching other shows related, and they have to get they have to get reassigned.
Hey, real quick, Kevin, send this back to your other friends.
You do that.
All right, I think we should wrap.
All right, man. Glory.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't really have have much of an outro to say. You guys know me for my incredibly super professional and scripted outros. But yeah, okay. So, great, good day. Not a great day, but we scuffed through today. Morning stream was pretty fun, pretty nonsensical, and for all my goofiness, we still did better coverage and a better show than almost all of indie media. So take that and fuck Jordan Charlatan and fuck Talcum X. And afternoon show was pretty awesome too. Teodrose is cool. Just dope person, awesome to talk to. And I'm always here for talking shit against the Black neoliberal elite class. So, fuck Sean King. We have a Discord. Check the memes channel in the Discord, and that's where I posted the list of all the nicknames for Talcum X. So we can talk about those, come up with some more, and have some fun with this fucked up world we live in. And quick story. So there was a Stop the Steal rally in Sacramento, and I went to the beginning of it. And just because, I was there for a bit, put up some flyers.
When was that?
That was it was so scuffed. I was there for 2 days with my cousins, and then fucking I was like,
totally would have gone to that if I would have known.
I was like, shit, that's the state capitol. And we put up some shit, put up some little ribbons and flyers, and it was right next to where they had all the flags and stuff, and may or may not have stolen some oranges. And they have Stop the Steal rallies every Saturday. So 'cause there's one every Saturday in Beverly Hills, but I figured there would be one in Sacramento, so I went there and I saw. I know I was only there for literally a couple minutes because I had to leave right after to get COVID tested for work and come back down to LA. But I went there and I saw this woman with the sign that was question mainstream media, and on the back it was stop voter fraud. So I went up to her and I was like, yo, I have a question. You know about Julian Assange? She's like, oh no, tell me about him. So, we had a really good conversation. First, and she was really passionate about Democrats' history of racism and Japanese internment camps. So it was a really good conversation. And the best part about it was I explained to her the voter fraud, election fraud shit. And she literally changed her poster right after that conversation because of it. And I saw her scratching it out and everything, and it was fucking awesome. And then I turned to the other posters and it was all voter fraud, and I'm like, ah, God, no. And I literally I turned at them, I looked at them, I was like, no. But then I explained to them kindly because I'm not a Jordan Sheraton. So yeah, that was that little experience. Yeah. Watch Attack on Titan.
I feel like Attack on Titan needs to throw us some cash.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
If anyone involved at a production or management level with Attack on Titan would like to sponsor the show, Glory can be paid in t-shirts and content.
I'll take a Wings of Freedom cape. I will.
Make that 2 Wings of Freedom capes.
Okay, I need to stop being goofy over here.
Really?
Hey, someone throw an invite link in there. I haven't done the short one yet. Discord one.
I got you, Sleepy J. Let me pull up the Discord.
If you have to make a new one, that's fine. I need to remember to do the damn short link tomorrow.
Is there a way to, or would we even want to, like, have a button on the website for that?
Yeah, I mean, that can be added.
Yeah, maybe we can do that too. Slow News Day has a website. It's
we do.
newsdayshow.com. And it's a full archive of this show and also for a pretty good chunk of the vigils. Speaking of, this Tuesday starts our 18th month or 18-month anniversary of these vigils.
Yay.
That's a lot. Like it really is to do a show at the with the material that we cover on the vigils that really is, you know, fairly narrow in scope, to have brand new things to talk about I don't have a dab rig here. I don't. All right. I don't. So I only freebase the weed when somebody gives me wax or shatter or something like that. I don't go out and buy it because I know that I would probably just snack on it way too much, which is what I do when I get gifted as well. So I try to stretch that out. I do. No. So I was pondering in mid-sentence, and I am a little high, for real. Yeah, this is...
It's the Sunday evening show.
92% Blue Dream live resin. Yeah.
That's just his default setting.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm an incredibly mellow guy, but inside I am a swirling vortex of rage.
I'm the swirling vortex inside and out.
More like a swirling vortex of chaos than rage.
Yeah, I think Gloria has more of that chaos energy.
I hide it pretty well. I do. Air that stuff. Oh no. At any rate.
But that's why I'm here, because it's like, you know, we balance it out. We balance out so we can balance out each other.
I like the way that the show works. I do. I'm incredibly glad that you're a part of it. Yeah, I really am. Fucking rock. Stoked you're here.
Me too.
If you're anywhere near Washington, D.C., the 2nd through the 4th of January, Action for Assange will be on the ground there. We're holding a couple of events around the fact that Vanessa Baratzer, district judge and concierge to the U.S. State Department, will be reading her decision on his extraordinary rendition hearing on January 4th. So the 3rd, we're going to be in front of the British Embassy at noon. On the 4th, we're going to be in front of the Department of Justice building at noon. I believe that there's a conversation going on about an extra event to specifically at the White House about a pardon. trying to organize that with some of the people that are going to be there with the force the vote thing that's going on, the 3rd and 4th, maybe 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, as well. And there's also a Trump rally there, or a Trump event going on. And get there. If you're anywhere near there, get there. Get there. Please get there. This is going to be a rare moment where everybody that's showing up from whatever political ideology they have, they're all showing up because they honestly believe that their government has failed them. And everybody's right. And we're going to try to bring them together on this post-partisan thing, this whole, hey, maybe we should protect our First Amendment, and maybe we should not allow the United States international jurisdiction to use the Espionage Act as a political weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should not do that. So yeah, if you can get down there, please get down there. While we're there, we're going to be doing some really cool stuff. So make sure you're around for it. Yeah. Sleepy Josh?
Sex Ninja.
I got nothing.
Okay.
Salty white man. Woo woo.
I'm just tired tonight.
Full of tamale.
If only.
All right, man. Well, let's get into it. I'm not sure if there's a Union of the Unwanted tomorrow or not. I have no idea. No clue. But if there is, I will try to pop in for it. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for being a part of this whole thing. It's been fucking incredible. Good luck to us all.